Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you very much for joining us tonight for our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. Let's cut to live stream. Whilst we're doing, yeah, I thought so. My very naughty webcam is already playing up. Just there we go, and I'm there. It seems to really not like me streaming. Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We have our Vampire the Masquerade desktop there, ready from Fancy Grounds Unity. So, without further ado, it is 7 o'clock. We'll do the introductions and we will go into our game. So, hello and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade live stream chronicle, Nottingham by Night, 1970s. Firstly, thanks to all our players for helping make this happen. We have Elsa, Jax, Mike, and Andrew. A special thanks to Jax for editing all of the last chapter and sticking it up on YouTube for us. Thanks to our Twitch mods, Stuart, Finley, and Elsa. And to you, the viewers, for coming along on our twisted narrative journey. A word of warning. This is Vampire the Masquerade. Due to the darker nature of this game, we will be covering dark and mature subjects. If this is not for you, it's probably best not to watch the stream, but check out some of other streams instead. We do quite a lot of Dungeons and Dragons stuff, which is not as dark as this will be. The stream will run for approximately 3 hours. We'll be looking at taking a couple of quick breaks to split the session down into 3 1-hour bite-sized pieces, so please stay tuned. So without further ado, in the words of Jason Cole, let's tell a vampire story. So you'll have to bear with me while I multitask here. I read and show you some images. So we have Nottingham, the heart of Great Britain, a city steeped in history and blood. King Richard I, the Lionheart, the Crusades. Then there's the Sheriff of Nottingham, Nottingham Castle, Robin Hood, and Maid Marian. The Merry Men. And like all histories, there are truths hidden between fictions, misdirections, and lies. In kindred society, names such as Robin Leyland, Patricia of Bolingbroke, now better known as Tyler, and even those that kindred would call villains such as Sullivan Dane, are all tied to this area. But it is impossible to stop entropy, and all things slowly wane and decay. The glory days of Nottingham are now a faded memory, a place condemned to history, to myth, and to fable. If a city could be put into torpor, then Nottingham would be its finest example. The city streets slick with rain, reflecting the stark street lights. For some, though, it is their time. As darkness falls, they begin to rise. And this is where we rejoin our vampire story. Nottingham, Thursday the 30th of September 1976. 36 years before the fall of London. In the media, we have the fall and rise of Reginald Perring. We have I, Claudius and The Muppet Show, all debuting on TV. Today, Logan's Run is released, and who could forget ABBA is #1 with Dancing Queen. Our Coterie have had an unusually busy week. A visit from the changeling Jack Shaw to make the annual arrangements for Goose Fair, a trip out to watch a fledgling punk band called Puke, together with a premonition of Blood Moon and a call from Caspar Hart, a disgraced Nosferatu seeking aid. Mixed in amongst this was a visit from the mysterious Rebecca Summer, asking for a favour laced with a veiled threat. When Caspar finally arrived in Nottingham, he gave our coterie a box to keep safe while he tried to make peace with his primogen, Professor Randolph Croup. And this is where we find them now, emerging from that tunnel in the centre of Nottingham city centre. For a refresher for our audience, I believe it is you, James, that are holding the box at the moment, walking away from the tunnels and the rest of the coterie. Do you want to give them a quick description of what you look like?
Very mismatched clothes. Looks like a late 50s, early 60s year old, very white hair. Has a studded leather punk jacket, but powder blue flares on. Again, though, with what look like motorbike boots or thick leather boots of some sort. About 5'9" in height.
Lovely. And you just took this box off Caspar. Caspar, being a Nosferatu, disappeared more or less instantly and headed deeper into the tunnels. As you're beginning to walk away, the three other members of our coterie kind of watch you, maybe reacting to you, sort of almost aimlessly heading back somewhere. In kind of order of view on the top of the screen, Albert, do you quickly want to give us a description of yourself?
Yes, of course. Albert de Boude. He is a fairly tall guy with hair that goes down to below his shoulders. He is currently wearing a fairly sharp, like moleskin jacket type thing with a like a silk shirt under it. And a pair of jeans that are slightly flared at the bottom.
Okay, this is the 1970s after all. Then we move on to Petra. Are you on mute, Petra?
Petra was on mute indeed. Petra is a quite severe-looking woman, of sort of about 5'6" height, wearing all black, sort of shoulder-length, dark wave, sort of black wavy hair, glasses, sort of, just looking quite grumpy with everything.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant night to come out, and it's certainly an even less pleasant place to be meeting people. Finally, the fourth member of the coterie, Rosamund. Give us a quick description of yourself.
So Rosamund has long, almost white, blonde, almost white hair, and she's incredibly fair with bright blue eyes. She's literally stunning. And this evening, she's wearing something wholly inappropriate and floaty, but she has managed to throw a black coat over it all. So hopefully,
excellent.
Not too impractical.
You've spent a very long time and you know James's mannerisms. How are the three of you reacting to him taking this box, which is by Caspar's sort of descriptions is critically important, and he's just wandering off? How do you all react?
Well, that's one way to make the problem go away.
I mean, yes.
James, where are you going? James
doesn't even notice he's being spoken to.
Has Caspar left at this point? Then?
Yeah, Caspar has gone off to try and meet with Professor Croup.
I think we better. Do we try and follow James?
I think for both our safety and his, it might be best.
Yes.
Okay, let's follow him then. Let's go.
Yep. Slowly walk after him.
Okay.
Or at the appropriate speed.
So are you just not tailing him, but just following him, wondering where he's going, or do you catch up with him and sort of walk with him?
I think I'd definitely be sort of catching up with him and just sort of walking next to him, just sort of trying to work out where he's going with this box.
Okay. James, where are you going with this box?
So as they catch up, I will notice that they have arrived and be like, oh yes, obviously yes. Just keep an eye out and make sure we're not being followed.
Okay. Can I have a
Yeah.
Doesn't,
look around?
doesn't tell you where you're going though.
So have a look around. This is going to be our first roll of the night. Yes,
Use heightened senses. Sorry.
absolutely. If you call up, we'll look at Rosamund's character sheet. Call that up here for you. So what we're going to need is an awareness roll, and the way that Vampire the Masquerade works is that you have dice pools, so it will be an awareness, but it will also be based on probably your wits to see whether you can kind of notice anything. So as we see here, Rosalind has got three pips in awareness and 3 pips in this, which means she can roll 6 dice. Challenge rating is pretty, yeah, that's okay. So there we go here. So you've got 3 successes there. 3 successes is more than enough for mortals. I mean, it is now quite late at night. It's getting on for maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. So this is the 1970s as well, where certainly pubs closed. It's Thursday, not a weekend. So the city is relatively quiet, even with your heightened senses. You don't pick up anything. You know you were being tailed before by someone you assume was sent by this Tremere that came and visited you, although that was not fully determined. But no, you don't think you're being followed at the moment. It's a quiet place, Nottingham, on a Thursday night at 2 o'clock in the morning in the 1970s. There's a bit of road traffic you can hear. You're down at the moment amongst the railway sidings, and up above you can hear sort of minor traffic going around their business, delivery lorries and the like. But no, you are alone, the 4 of you.
All seems clear, as far as I can tell, anyway.
Good. Doesn't really take his eyes off the box that he's got.
Okay, so you're going to make your way somewhere. Is that the plan?
Back to my haven.
Okay, are you happy with the others? Have they ever been to your haven before?
I'm not 100% sure they have.
Okay.
Not that I remember anyway.
Yeah. Are you okay with that?
It hasn't occurred to me not to be.
Yeah, that's absolutely appropriate. That in itself is unusual for kindred. Kindred are normally paranoid and suspicious. Their haven is one of their closely guarded secrets. It's the place that they enter torpor during the day. But this is indicative of Nottingham now. This is indicative of Nottingham in the 1970s. There hasn't really been any threat or trouble, and it looks like our Coterie have maybe dropped their guard a little bit. Still watching out though, Rosamund. No one seems to be following you as you all travel with James, eventually arriving at his haven. I know we covered it at the start of the last session, but for the other players and the viewers, do you want to quickly describe what it looks like?
It's a very small second story apartment that has had windows not only boarded over, but there is what looks like cardboard taped to it. Basically, no light gets in here. There is a singular bulb hanging from the small kind of very, very small, compact hallway. It's got no light shade. It's not very bright. As you enter into the kitchen, it takes you through to it's a very small, very unused kitchen, and it seems to have one room off it, which, as you look in there, it actually is just a very small bedroom.
Right.
There is a very small bathroom that you're genuinely surprised that it can fit a bath and a toilet and a sink in there, which looks like it hasn't been updated since the 1940s.
Wow.
And he actually walks straight past that into what would be the bedroom, but is actually a library.
Looking around, the rest of the coterie can see sort of the books. What kind of subject matters? What kind of books?
It's mostly occult.
Right.
It's got some other books in there, but most of his research goes into occult.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Does anybody?
James, I had no idea you were so well adjusted.
I'm not. He walks in, pulls off a couple of books, and starts sieving through them to try and find what this is and how to destroy it.
Okay. So, can you remember from the last session anything that I told you?
I can remember
it's
most
okay.
of it, but I can't remember all of it.
I will help you. What you've been told is that supposedly in this box is the hand of Val Vedrix. I'll put that into chat for you. So I can't remember whether you got the note or not. So I learnt this week how to do cut and paste on Fantasy Grounds, which is absolutely amazing for me. I mean, it has made my life so much easier. Now, you don't recognise the name just off the top of the head, Velvetrix, at all. What Casper told you is that it's an ancient Roman tremere. This is a body part of his, and supposedly he's held in torpor. Legends say that he practiced the dark arts, but with the rise of the Second Inquisition, the Tremere are planning to bring him back. Now, to you, let's have a look, because I'm always intrigued. We'll open up James's character sheet. This is also open to anybody else of our coterie hearing all of this information. This is before you get down to studying the books. Obviously, occult and intelligence is one role that you could make. That's anybody. But also, this is also to do with the history of kindred society. So if you've got an appropriate skill that you think is for that, you can give us a sort of history role. Kindred history, though, rather than mundane history.
Would politics make sense? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Politics and intelligence as well. If you have interest in kindred history, I'm not here to try and stifle this. This is not a challenge for you. I kind of want story to come out, but I want story to come out in the way that your character would perceive and understand the information. So it's to you to sort of pitch these roles and to sort of bring out your characters' backstories. One of the great things about Vampire the Masquerade, especially with longer lived kindred, is that you have all of these life experiences in your past. So I think James is going to do a intelligence and occult. But
can I rouse the blood to?
Okay, you can certainly rouse the blood. I am a great fan of such things.
Well, that's a fail.
It's a fail. So rousing the blood means they tap into their vitae, their own blood, to empower themselves and give them greater strength or concentration. But if you fail, you become hungrier, and the more hungry you get, the closer the monster that lurks within you rises to the surface. So we'll do this one at a time, really. So, James, yeah, you have roused the blood. You're successful in rousing the blood. It's just made you hungrier. Give us a roll.
Trying to remember how to add the extra dice for that.
Yeah, you just yeah. If the worst comes to the worst, we can just do this. There we go. 6 successes, a margin of 4. Okay,
Oh, I need to roll one more. Sorry, bear with me.
that's okay. Just roll another one. We can see that is a success as well. Very nice. Was that a 1
That's
or
a
a 10?
messy critical.
Yeah,
It's a 10.
that's 10.
So that's 7 with a
Yeah.
messy critical.
2 of the blood dice showing that they are successes. So a messy critical is quite interesting and sometimes quite difficult to determine due to the fact that it's a success. It's a critical success, but there is some downside to it. So we'll come on to that in a minute as you are thinking about the information and beginning to skim through some of these books. At the same time that this happens, did somebody else want to make a potential roll as well?
I will, yeah.
Okay.
think.
What I'm doing
Yeah,
is
we'll
getting
always
you
go.
to put all of your information together. That is very good. And this is a politics.
This is intelligence politics.
Yeah. So as we can see here, intelligence is down here. Sorry, intelligence is up here. Politics is down here. So the one thing that you immediately pick up on, it's not an overly difficult thing, and 2 successes easily does this, is that it mentions this was an ancient Roman Tremere. That in itself is wrong because the Tremere clan is one of the youngest clans. One of the youngest clans. And it kind of formed in around about 1020 after the Romans had faded into history. So it might be a Roman, but it can't be a Tremere. It might be a Tremere, but it can't be a Roman. The 2 things just are anachronistic. So that is what you pick up with that. With your 6 successes in your messy crit, this is crazy. It begins to scratch at the back of your eyes as you start staring at the pages. The information should be in here and it's not. If this was some kind of occultist, if this was some kind of someone of any kind of importance, they should be in the books. And it begins to rile you. You begin to get angry that you can't find this information. It means one or 2 things: either Casper lied or has misinformed you, or your books are wrong. And this wouldn't normally happen, but it was a messy critical. What I'm going to ask you to do is give me a willpower roll. And if you fail the willpower roll, you are going to get hungrier.
Okay. I actually am not 100% sure. Oh, there we go. Figured it
There
out.
we go. Absolutely no problem there. Yeah, it kind of makes you cross that this information. The thing is, clearly, it isn't what he's told you it is. You're 100% certain. You got a critical. It was a success. It is this hand of Vel Videx is not a thing. There's something else about this instead.
I will be completely forgetting that I have guests, muttering this out loud
Okay.
to myself. But as I pull more and more books off the shelves, and scrolling through the index and flicking through the pages, getting more and more frantic to the point of needing a willpower roll to make sure I don't break. As I will look up and go, oh, sorry. I gently put the book down on the table. I have no idea what this is. It isn't what we were told. And with Tremere not being around at the same time as the Romans, definitely not what we were told.
So Casper lied.
I don't think he's that intelligent.
The Tremere clearly wanted. I mean, whether it's the hand of Vale of Edrex or whether it's the hand of someone else, does it matter? The Tremere want it. Queen Anne wants rid of it.
Well, in my experience, the Tremere claim ownership of anything that has some form of occultish or blood magic. It's not always the case that it is theirs to look after. Might be they are protecting it, or it might be something more sinister.
So what should we do with it then? Just flat out destroy it, or?
Well, I mean, I can try and figure that out, but I can't destroy something that I'm not 100% sure what it is, because destroying it might release the very thing that we don't want to happen.
I'm very happy to just sort of throw it in a bin and set it on fire.
That probably won't work, but we can give it a go. Dib's not playing with fire.
If there's any kind of armchair in here or any kind of chair at all, I'm just going to sit down and lounge on it.
Oh yeah, there are chairs. There's actually more than one chair, which is quite weird, but it looks like, as you've been seeing him work, James doesn't sit still. He sits in one chair for maybe 30 seconds, stands up again, moves to a different chair, and he's just learned. So there is actually, 5 or 6 chairs around here that he has not sat in for more than 20 seconds the entire time he's been looking through books.
This will make me incredibly uncomfortable, and I will just sort of start following you around the room, just trying to get you to stay in one place.
We're the plan B. Casper's going to go speak to the professor. Hopefully they manage to get on, and he can give this box to the professor, and it's out of our hair.
I am good with that as well. Let's just... I don't want it hanging around here, where James is clearly upset by it. I don't want it hanging around my shop, because I like that place. I don't want it anywhere near us.
Okay. So
while that's happening, I am actually going to set the box down and open it.
Okay. Now, as you begin to sort of study the box, it doesn't have a sort of standard opening. It's almost like a puzzle box of sorts. And give me I guess I would say an awareness wits roll initially, as you kind of just, you put the box down, you go to open it, and you go, oh. So just give us a okay.
Oh, hold on, that was the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's okay.
Awareness. Wits. Let's try that again. What?
Yeah, you did resolve. That's it. Okay, it's a 1. Yeah, this is some kind of sort of puzzle box of sorts. And as you look at it, it's kind of more or less like a black box made of wood. It looks kind of old, but I mean, you could break into it, absolutely. But beyond that, you would have to try and work out sort of how to slide various components of the wood to release the catch to sort of open the box. You will have seen, all of you, these kind of things before in your own life, but it's whether you want to just break it or you want to try and work out how to open this box.
James, have you got a hammer?
I'm going to try and sit there and start trying to figure out how to open the box.
So
I'm going to look for a hammer.
Okay. Give me, I'm assuming that somewhere there will be a hammer around there. So give us an awareness and intelligence roll. You're going to find a hammer or something equivalent. It's just how long it's going to sort of take you. Whilst that is going on, I need you to pitch me a skill of what you would like to use to try and figure out how to open this box.
I would like to use awareness intelligence if I can.
Awareness and intelligence sounds sensible, really, as you are literally doing a puzzle. Okay, so to the mortal eye, this might well have been challenging, but you seem to sort of focus. You are relatively intelligent. You've kind of seen things before, and you are most definitely interested in the occult. And you begin to figure out how to undo this. And it's almost like second nature and almost identical. You both got 4 successes. You hear the box click just as Petra has this hammer, finding it underneath your sink. It's covered in cobwebs. You probably haven't used it ever.
Didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you found a hammer. Click. Where did you find
Okay.
that?
Under the sink. I'll
Oh.
if you're not using
Well, now
it,
I know where it is. If you put it back there, it'll come in handy. I've been using it at the end of an old rifle.
I was hoping to keep it, but sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to keep the hammer, keep the hammer.
The
Yes,
head
hammer.
is all sort of rusty. It's kind of sort of an old school kind of lump hammer sort of thing, really. But you've got yourself a hammer. If you really
Another
want
one for the collection of hammers.
to. Yes, if you really want
I
to,
can
you
I
can.
can fix it up. It's all good.
Absolutely.
It's in decent condition.
It's really not, but
I
fine.
mean, it's a bit rusty, but give it a bit of scrub and it'll be fine again. It's a hammer.
Okay, whatever. Okay, yes, carry on. Fine. I'll just.
Thank you, and I'll pocket the hammer.
Well, let's see what's in the box. It might be another even nicer hammer.
Oh,
You never know.
Gently open the box.
Okay, it sort of
Step
creaks
back.
open. Rosamund most definitely takes a visible step back, and it's relatively disgusting what is in there. There most definitely is a hand and a forearm. It is mummified, twisted almost into a claw. It is old, very old, sort of much older than a couple of 100 years. This thing is quite possibly dating back to Roman times, maybe even older. If anybody's got any skill for sort of dating stuff, you could possibly give it a go.
Got academics history.
Yeah, I mean it's old though. It's also mummified. Give us an academic history roll.
I've got academics intelligence.
Yeah, that's fine as well. Both
So
give
that's
us
intelligence.
give me one of those rolls there. Oh, very nice.
And
Very
then I
nice.
need to add an additional one for my history.
Yep.
I'm rolling well tonight.
Yep.
That's going to end horribly at the worst time possible.
Yeah, so without studying it at length, the kind of bandages, again, you've obviously looked into these kind of things. You've probably visited museums, done studies of the like. You would say this is closer to maybe Egyptian. It is actually sort of mummified. There are the remnants of wrappings around it. But as you kind of study the hand, obviously, you realize, and everybody's eyes fall onto not the hand, but what is placed on one of the fingers. Very easy to see. I just need to find my notes. What you see is a ring, a simple band cast from a single piece of silver, and it's inset with a large, flawless oval ruby that shines with the colour of blood. This, as you certainly lay your hands upon it, James, triggers something in you again. a premonition. It's a repeat, though, of the premonition that you had when you were watching the punk band Puke a couple of nights ago. Looking up, you see the blood moon, and you realise now that it actually isn't a moon, it's a huge blood opal, and it's this one. Whatever your premonition means, it is revolving around this thing. It's placed on the finger of this mummified hand, quite tightly on.
I've seen that before.
Hmm?
Rosamund, remember when my old lady, she said,
I
she said not to go to the to Goose Fair, and she said,
yeah, you
well,
said at the gig.
yeah, this I thought this was a we both thought that this was a blood moon, but she's told me it was this ruby, this opal, this stone.
Oh, okay.
She she she
So is this linked to the Goose Fair in some way?
I'll walk out of the room
Hmm.
with the box in the hand, and I'll start trying to find Keith.
Okay.
Keith. One thing that I haven't described to you so far is that my haven is actually haunted. I'm not quite sure what by. Even with Sense the Unseen, I'm not 100% sure what it is. But
A number of heartbeats pass. Not that you would know what a heartbeat is anymore. But it is scant moments, and the temperature drops. Again, difficult for you to detect, as you are not sensitive overly to heat, although fire does cleanse. It is when the lights dim that you realise you are not alone, and then a number of books, the pages rustle. Something is going on here.
James, is Keith friendly?
James, who or what is Keith?
it depends on the day of the week. He hasn't killed me again yet.
Well, that's terribly reassuring.
Yeah. Keith, Keith, has
I've had
anyone been
Ruth-
here other than us? Keith, are we still safe? Keith, answer me. Keith.
A book,
I've had worse roommates.
a book falls from the shelf, crashes to the ground.
I'll go and pick it up. Go back into the library to pick it up.
It is one of your favourite books. It's something that you read to calm yourself, to send you to that safe space. It's kind of an indication that you are alone. You're okay at the moment.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you. You will let me know if somebody visits, won't you?
The single light bulb in the hall, shedding light into the room, pops. Glass is shattered to the ground.
Reassuring. Thank you.
That was reassuring.
Mm.
That's a broken light bulb. That's not a reassuring light bulb.
Oh, so if Keith isn't gonna help, he will normally do something dangerous.
And glass on the floor isn't dangerous.
I I don't actually know how to talk to him, and he hasn't thrown any knives or pans at me yet, so it's slightly reassuring.
Can you all give me, well, it's perception, it's awareness and wits rolls. Okay. So sometimes these roles are opposed. This is to our audience. What I've basically done is for a lot of things that they'll be facing tonight, I've sort of pre-rolled. This is to speed up the process. And it is you, Petra, that needs to get the 5. And you do indeed get the 5. As you're talking about this, it's very subtle. None of the others, even with your fantastic kindred senses, you hear a crushing of the glass, a foot stamping down. Very, very silent. But yes, you hear something that has stood on that broken light bulb, the fragments of the glass from the broken light bulb. Very subtly, you most definitely are not alone anymore.
Am I like? Can I see the hallway and the light bulb from where I am?
You can easily position yourself fairly rapidly to look.
Okay. I will sort of carefully position myself so it's sort of think sort of secret agent against the wall with a hammer up by my sort of face poised to hit someone if I see them.
Okay, you kind of look down there, and even with your keen senses, you can't see anything, but you've heard it. You know something is there. Whatever it is cannot be seen with normal eyes.
I give Petra a what the fuck look.
And I'll sort of shush, sort of hold my finger up to my lips and point at the hallway.
Can I use heightened senses?
Also going to get Sense the Unseen on the go. And
Okay.
hide the arm and the box if possible.
Okay, so I'm sorry, viewers. This is World of Darkness. This is Vampire the Masquerade. It's supposed to be super serious, and it feels like it's Scooby Doo at the moment. Which, as far as I'm concerned, it is awesome.
I'll just stand up and stretch.
Yeah.
Limber it.
Yes, take a Scooby snack. Okay, so a number of things happen all at the same time. Heightened senses, I'm going to need you to make a roll for, as you kind of begin to concentrate and give yourself supernatural senses. This is going to be the same. It's going to be your awareness and your wits, but I'm taking in the fact that you've got heightened senses at the moment, and then we'll come straight to sense the unseen as well.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, you focus and you try, you concentrate, but unfortunately the dice have messed with you there, and whatever it is good even with your heightened senses. But you, James, you go beyond heightened senses. You begin to concentrate. How does your sense the unseen manifest? I mean, I'm assuming it's fairly subtle anyway. It's not a masquerade breach, but is there?
Yeah, it is very subtle.
Yeah.
I also am using my rapid reflexes to kind of do it before anyone's noticed.
Okay. So you kind of look down there and you focus and you can't see anything, and then you sense the unseen, and there is most definitely something there. A hideous, twisted monstrosity, pale skin, twisted fingers that kind of look broken or are in impossible positions. The skin itself is flaking and mottled with strange blackened pustules. The creature is sort of crouched, a face whose jaw seems to be broken in a very painful angle. A number of teeth missing, but the other teeth sticking out at strange, impossible angles. You recognize it as a Nosferatu, and he catches your eye as you look down, and you all hear the words, "Oh, bugger."
Do I recognise the Nosferatu?
No, we shall say no. You don't. It's all okay.
Well, I mean, you've just broken into my house. That's not great.
Well, I mean, well, I didn't. I opened the door,
Okay,
so
you've just entered my house. That isn't great.
yeah.
It's Nosferatu. They've got a slightly lower standard of what is acceptable with regards to breaking.
I mean, so have I, but still, you
Look,
could have at least knocked.
you shouldn't have been able to even hear me. I'm in so much trouble. Um, look, look. The professor sent me.
All right, okay.
Okay, now he kind of wanted me to take a look at what was going on, but I'm also supposed to, like, once I've deemed it safe to invite you to the caves.
This is
He's
a very, very weird invitation.
well,
It's still
come
not the
in, come
weirdest
in. Deem it
invitation I've
safe.
had. Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
I'm gonna walk back into the library and make sure everything is well hidden.
how did you do the trick with the light bulb? That was clever. You wouldn't have heard me if it hadn't have. It's well timed.
Damn it, Keith.
I think it's just this electricity. It's unreliable sometimes.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. It kind of limps in, and now that it's revealed itself proper to you all, it's very strange. It was moving incredibly silently, but now it's kind of, as it kind of moves forward with a very heavy limp. Ah,
Yeah, I think
ah,
I can do that.
you're Rosamund, aren't you? You're so pretty.
Thank you. That's very kind. My eyes are looking at the ceiling.
And I'll
Ah,
sort of I'll slightly raise the hammer again, just in case it's still needed.
well, put the hammer down. It's I come in peace, not pieces. It's a joke. Yeah, joke.
How droll.
Yeah,
Haha.
How
Ah,
droll.
well, my name is all right.
all
All
right.
right.
Yeah, I'm all right.
How do?
Yeah, I do indeed. Uh, because I do all right, you see, and I'm kind of one of his best, but well, I'm going to be in so much shit. I mean, can you perhaps
We,
just not tell him that you didn't see me?
we don't have to tell him.
I mean, presumably you were meant to invite us, so you must have seen us at some point. Unless the
Right.
plan was to draw it on the wall in blood or something.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was supposed to kind of watch, deliberate, kind of get a little bit of intel first. This is what we do, but yeah, buggerations. I mean,
Yeah, you do seem to be lacking in intelligence in this specific circumstance.
yeah. Well, you don't mind if I just like take a seat and watch what you do then? Because if you
I
send me
think
away,
we're done.
are you done?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right. Damn, I missed it as well. Do you wanna just fill me in so I can tell the prof? You know the
No.
prof. No.
Well, I read a book. That was interesting. In fact, I read a few. That was interesting.
Can I get a look at? Have you I saw it looks and he kind of tries to stretch and sort of, and you hear a cracking of bones as his spine sort of creaks.
And
There was also the hammer. Petra could show you the hammer.
I was gonna say I'm gonna show him the hammer because I'm gonna sort of not bring it down in violence, but just sort of bring it down just to sort of in front of him to stop him from moving.
Whoa. Right. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, and I wouldn't ever do this, but if I kind of want it, well, I don't know what happened. I can't do it, can I? You're quite good. I underestimated yous. Yous all.
How about we take a trip to the professor?
I
Well, I
think
mean,
that sounds like the best plan for now.
I mean, we've got
This-
enough time before before the day. I mean, it's only about 2:30ish now. We can get there, see the prof. It's good. Break bread, or rather rats, because that's kind of what we eat down there, and everybody's happy. Although the Professor's not happy at the moment. That's why he sent me for you.
Is Casper safe?
uh, he's as safe as he ever could be at the moment. Anyway, Professor will explain. If you want to gather whatever you want, bring your hammer. You could whack-a-mole some rats. They do splat sometimes. It kind of tenderizes them.
Yeah, I've
Oh.
got some books to organise and some glass to clean up. I will catch you up though.
Well, I'll.
Shall we meet you somewhere?
Yeah, you're not going to get into the caves proper without one of us. You know what I mean?
Oh, I understand that, but
Well, no, I mean I'll only be. It'll take me minutes to clean and catch up, but I am.
Right.
You know,
Okay. So
Right.
I get the feeling, and he kind of touches his nose, and as he touches his nose, you realise it's been broken so many times, it's almost like rubberized, as it kind of. Bing. I get you. You kind of want some private time, so I'll just wait outside.
Oh no, genuinely, there's glass by the front door. You can see there's a bunch of books out of the book.
Yeah,
I
it's
just genuinely
dangerous.
need
Who
to clean
leaves
up.
glass by their front door?
Well,
I've had a
my
look outside,
housemate
that's
is a very talented individual, but very paranoid.
All right, that's a good trick though. Learned something
Very.
tonight. And anyway, he kind of turns and,
How about I escort you out? All right.
all right,
And
yeah.
I'll sort of lead him from the back with the hammer towards the door.
He kind of follows you. You're not going to say anything to the boss, are you?
We'll
I'll
see.
come.
All right.
I'll come with.
Yeah, I'll come as well. Let's still get out. Give
Right.
James a chance to
Don't
clean
take
up.
too long, James.
No, I won't.
So you go out of James's Haven and you wait. I'm assuming
James is literally just putting the books back. He's not actually going to clean up the glass.
Mhm.
He's gonna hide the arm and the box somewhere safe.
Are you?
No, he's not. He's going to hide them in the oven. He's 100% hiding them in the oven. It's unused. It hasn't been used for a long time.
Okay, so this great ancient artifact that could probably bring blood raining down upon the entire world, you hide in the oven. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
And then I'm just going to say to Keith, protect it, please. I mean, I realise this isn't your fight, but
As you do
I'll owe
that,
you one.
your gas rings just flare up.
I'll do. And then I will walk outside, forgetting to clean up the glass.
Okay. So he kind of looks at you. You're not bringing it then.
Bring in what?
The thing, the box.
What thing? The
The
box?
the
What
hand.
box?
Oh,
What hand? I've got my hands.
are we really doing this?
We're doing what?
Yeah, this is above my pay grade. Well, everything's above my pay grade. I don't actually get paid. But yeah, come on then to the sewers and then the caves. And he kind of, again, as he begins to walk, you see that he changes. It's very strange. He becomes what appears to be like a postman, an early morning postman that is perhaps going to work. His demeanour changes. He's got a postal outfit. He doesn't appear to be limping anymore. It's probably better I do this just in case. And he walks you not particularly far, and there is what appears to be a manhole cover. He very skillfully opens it, and begins to descend down into the darkness. He says, "Make sure you put it on. We don't want anybody falling down. That'll be terrible." Um, yeah.
Am I meant to go down there? You
Uh,
want me to go into
it's
the sewers?
yes. If you're going to see the professor, we need to. This is the fastest way to the caves.
It's surprisingly clean down there, actually, assuming what you're expecting is for it to be utterly disgusting. It's just terrible.
There really
It's-
isn't any
yeah.
alternative, is there?
It's not
Okay.
not too bad, but yes, we are heading down there, dear. Sorry.
Can I go in the middle? I don't want to have to handle anything.
Okay.
We could
I'll
try
go
and
down
find a
last.
tarp and carry you if you want.
I mean, no, I won't be reduced to being carried. It's fine. I'm fine. Okay.
It seems pretty much that Albert lied to you. As you do get down there, it is terrible. It
Ugh.
is totally horrible. You begin to move forward. There is, fortunately, though, this is one of the bigger sort of sewers. It's not cramped. It has a walkway. There is a sort of central drainage ditch that all of the effluent is sort of coming down. The walls, though, are sort of slick with damp more than anything else. It's fundamentally the smell that is truly horrible.
Well, I'm not breathing, so it's fine.
Um, it looks. I forgot that I've been sharing a huge amount of stuff with our audience and nothing with you guys. So that is kind of Nottingham sewers as you begin to move and you try and balance upon that one side there. It's only a few inches deep, but whatever clothes or whatever shoes you've got are going to be covered in things.
Yeah. I had a haven down here for a few years. I find the trick is to never wear the same clothes again.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to burn these, I think, when we're done. It's fine.
I mean, if you don't want them, I mean, yeah, I'll have them.
I mean, okay.
You know, if
Yes,
you,
but not right now. I obviously need them right now, so you know.
yeah, well,
We
yeah,
can
I'm
make
not.
an arrangement later. Yes, absolutely. That's fine.
I'm no perv. I mean, just like when you're done with them, stick them outside in a package, and I'll come and collect them. Don't want you to strip off. I mean, you know, if you wanted to, but you know that'd be
Yes.
your choice.
I appreciate your awareness of consent. Thank you very much. Let's keep moving. I don't want to be here longer than I have to be.
And he kind of splashes through. And as you
Oh.
start going down to some of the deeper sewers, you do notice, just like the picture, they are actually lit. This has been designed by someone to ensure that you can move around the sewers relatively easily. And I think as you move towards the caves of Nottingham and to meet with the Nosferatu Primogen, Professor Randolph Croup, that is the perfect place for us to take our first break. So please, we're not going to kill the stream. We're just going to take a very quick break to grab a cup of tea. Please stay tuned and we will be right back.